topic. The Washington Commanders, they are playing some great football right now. They're 3-1. Just had a big blowout dub over Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and the Arizona Cardinals last night, 42-14. That game was not close whatsoever. Jayden Daniels had another amazing game, 26 for 30, 233 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The touchdown he did throw was a dart. And then a 2-point conversion afterwards was after a dart. The running game has really been going well. Cliff Kingsbury is really calling a good game. They ran for 216 yards on the ground yesterday, and that resulted in 4 touchdowns. And you can see the confidence growing in Jayden Daniels. You can see the team really rallying around him. I love these post-game videos when they give out the game ball. And Dan Quinn gave the game ball to Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury winning in a place for a team that he was the head coach. A team that a lot of people to this day still blame him for that team not getting anywhere. And to go out there and get that win was a big deal for him. I also love to see Doug Williams embracing Jayden Daniels. That's just contrary to probably believe I hate black quarterbacks bullshit. That was great to see them being embraced. And I'm a fan of what I've seen for Jayden Daniels. I think they're the clear-cut favorite for the NFC East. The Cowboys stink, the Eagles stink, and the Giants are generationally bad. They can really make some more noise, not just in the NFC East, but in the NFC. Courtney, you said that in the preseason that the Commanders were going to be an annoying team. Are they still an annoying team, or are they more a good team to you now?
Oh no, I've seen it. And Cliff Kingsbury, I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game. Maybe you weren't the problem, bud. I'm just saying, maybe you weren't the problem. Maybe it was that quarterback in Arizona, and we can get into that later. But yeah, I mean, the Commanders are looking for real. I'm curious. Their bye week isn't until like week 14.
Look at it right now. Yeah, they don't have a bye week until.
That's kind of what worries me. Is that's a lot of games for a rookie quarterback. But I mean, hey, trial by fire. I'm excited. I'm all in on Jayden Daniels. So.
Mikey, you said last night, you said, I don't care about the, what you want to take away from Jayden and, I guess the critiquing of him, that he's been great and this team looks really, really good. Tell me what you've seen from the team in general, but more specifically Jayden, and what you like that you've seen.
Yeah, what I said basically was just, I'm not gonna, obviously I'm a Bears fan and I want Caleb to be the best quarterback in this draft. But I'm not going to shit on what is being, what is taking place over in DC with Jayden Daniels. He looks extremely poised. That's the number one thing I'll say is he just looks poised in the pocket. He looks comfortable out there, and his offensive coordinator is putting him in advantageous positions to utilize his skill sets. The design runs work. The quick, short passing game works. And you see that he really does kind of have just he's got something special about him, and there's nothing I could do to take away from him. Dan Quinn obviously is a hell of a coach. That is a guy that's been to a Super Bowl. That's been to a guy that's manned some special players while he was with the Seattle Seahawks. Cliff Kingsbury. Now, I don't know, Courtney, if we can go all the way in saying it wasn't his fault with Arizona. I just think some guys are better off in their natural position as being, a play caller than being the GM of 53 men and having to do everything else that comes with being a head coach. But, they don't have nearly the weapons that some other teams have. Terry McLaurin is obviously very underrated. Brian Robinson Jr. was great coming out of college. He had the setback. He had the setback with, being shot, but obviously he's healthy now. But they just look good, But I do want to see what this looks like against the better defensive units and what it looks like against teams that can really kind of go blow for them. I mean, we saw the Bengals go blow for them. If it wasn't for them settling for a field goal instead of a touchdown, one drive, then the Bengals probably win that game. So I want to see what it looks like in a couple of weeks when they head over to Baltimore and they play the Ravens. I want to see what it looks like when they go up against the Chicago Bears defense. And I want to see what it looks like when teams start to adjust with the fact that if you look at Jayden Daniels' success in the pocket and a lot of the things they're doing in the passing game, it's very Mitch Trubisky-esque of all on the right side of the field. So I want to see what it looks like when teams kind of take that away and kind of force him to throw to that left side of the hash and, really force him to play the quarterback position in ways that obviously the 4 previous teams haven't. I want to see what it looks like when it gets uncomfortable for them. Obviously, they had a ridiculous streak of like 16 straight possessions where they scored, whether that being a field goal or a touchdown. So I want to see what it looks like when they, go through some adversity, but they are a good team. I won't say that they are the favorites to win the NFC East yet. I still think some of the veteran-laden teams and the Eagles and the Cowboys will find a way there, but they definitely have my attention.
Dante, are you ready to give Dan Quinn love? That's a fine.
No,
Yeah.
I was trying not to cuss, bro, but no. One thing I will say though, Dan Quinn picks great coordinators. Dan Quinn is very good at picking coordinators and empowering them to do their jobs and do them well. That's why he had success in Atlanta for the time that he did have success. So I like what they're doing out there in DC, and I think a few people have said it. I think Bang said it as well. I think this is a team that maybe they just not as bad as we thought they were on paper. Coming into the season, we all expected them to really struggle, and that hasn't been the case. I've loved what I've seen from Jayden Daniels. Just him always looking comfortable, always looking in control of the moment, and he never looks overwhelmed. So it's going to be interesting to see how they continue to develop this thing going forward. I do think they need another receiver. Him and Scary Terry are starting to show some good chemistry, but you can always build on that and add more weapons. But no, bro, I think the Commanders are a very solid team, and you do have to tip your cap to Dan Quinn, whether I wanted him to be the Bears coach or not.
Bang used to live in the DC area. Have you heard from your friends out there in DC how they feeling?
Oh, they happy than motherfucker. I ain't never seen. Shouts out to all of the homies from the DMV, especially my homie Rick Chill. Shouting you out specifically because you had a bad week because you lost to me at the Jive Fantasy Football joint. We lost. And I was upset because anytime he loses to me, he puts it in the chat to explain why he's pissed by losing to me. And I said, you should be focusing on Jayden Daniels. And as soon as I put that, the mood changed. Everybody was like, yeah, you're right. They are happy. They have not been this hopeful in the quarterback position since RG3. And from what they tell me, they were still a little iffy about that. So you could go back years, fam. It has been years since they felt like they have their guy. And they're excited. You thought we was excited during the draft? No, they are ecstatic. There's a number of ways that I could spin this that might be derogatory. So I'll just say that they're ecstatic. But I also picked the Washington Commanders to be my surprise team in the NFC this year. So I'm not really surprised at what's going on as a team and as a record. I am shocked and surprised at how efficient Jayden Daniels has been. He's been efficient as shit. And the fact that they've barely punted this year, Tress Way. So for y'all to understand, Tress Way has probably been the best player on the Commanders for a number of years now. That's the punter, y'all. He ain't playing. He's chilling. Got a nice little contract, and he's sitting on the sidelines because the offense is out there killing it. So, not surprised at the record. I am surprised at how efficient the quarterback is. But, hey, the DMV is happy right now, and I can't blame him.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not